bienvenidos al último capítulo de Fontaine. Esperemos que sí. Vamos a terminar por fin Fontaine. A ver qué ocurre. A ver qué viene. Es que yo estoy muy rayada con lo que ha ocurrido. Realmente no entiendo nada. Solo quiero saber realmente qué ocurre. Y ya está, es que no sé. Antes de nada deciros que tenéis el link en la descripción de mi canal de Discord por si queréis uniros y de mi canal de Twitch, donde ahora mismo estamos en directo. Ahora sí que sí, let's go, let's go.
Oh, who permitted you to come onto the stage? Now, I understand your admiration for my august self, but I must ask... All right, it is not my intent to reprimand you. There is no need to state your name. Just be off with you. Do not distract me from my performance. Oh, do not jest. Can you not feel it?
Eso es lo que realmente quiere decirnos en el fondo, ¿no?
I am Focalor. The eyes of countless Fontanians are upon me. I must at all times...
O sea, por dentro está pensando lo que pone arriba, ¿no? Hay que apagar el foco. Fácil.
Dear audience, the performance is experiencing a technical difficulty, but worry not. The guards shall resolve it soon enough.
La de Troti salva Purina. Muy bien. Pero yo quería ver una cosa primero. Ah, sí, tiene una de cada.
Hey, what gives? The audience is still watching me, you know. Guards? Wait, where are the guards?
Silencio infinito, cadenas. Hostia.
I'm going in. Not now.
Behold.
Entrada. Un ticket. Acto 1. Frente del espejo. Furina. Uy, me he rayado. Claro, como soy yo mismo. Ah. Claro. Soy yo. ¡El Furina pelo corto! ¡El Furina pelo corto! El Furina pelo corto, gente.
¡Tachán!
Gracias por seguirme.
Farina. Huh? Who's that? Who's calling me? Where are you? Be not nervous. Be not afraid. I am before you. Wait a moment. You're... mirror me? Mirror you, huh? Mirror me. What do you wish to say? The prophecy. Have you heard of it? What prophecy? Wait. I know. The people will all be dissolved into the waters, and only the Hydro Archon will remain, weeping on her throne. Oh, very good. You know it well.
¿Es la misma voice actor? Porque si es la misma voice actor, yo flipo, ¿eh?
What's going on? I can't seem to remember anything clearly.
Yes, it will. And that is why I've come to you. Disaster will come to Fontaine sooner or later. Things will develop just as the prophecy declared. There is no...
But doesn't that mean everyone will die? I'm a Fontainian just like them.
Oh, don't worry. Magical meetings exist in this world precisely. I will tell you how to save everyone, but you may have to suffer somewhat.
Sí, la misma. Hostia, pues loco, ¿eh?
Oh, so there's still hope after all. As for the suffering, well, I will admit that the first thing that came to mind was, but if the prophecy will come true, I'll also die anyway, right? If there were scales, with all the people of Fontaine on one side, and my pain...
You truly are the perfect human. I suppose this would also be the justice that belongs to you.
Huh?
Don't worry, it's nothing. Listen well. Fontaine has just lost its Hydro Archon. I need you to play a role, that of the new Archon.
Play as a god?
That's right. You must begin a never-ending masquerade.
El de Furina pelo corto
You must
representa a Furina
never
como
let
tal la humana y
anyone
Furina pelo largo
suspect your
representa su calor, es
identity.
decir, al arconte se tenemos dos personajes en uno. Es decir que Furina, o sea, Furina pelo corto es Furina real, su personalidad, y Furina pelo largo es la actriz que representa, o sea, la actriz que actúa, o sea, la que actúa, el papel que actúa.
If you can keep it up, then I shall have my way of defying this prophecy.
Sí,
But
vale.
should your identity be revealed, then all hope will be lost.
But how will I do this? A human assuming the role of a god without being exposed.
Don't worry. What you must do is not to turn yourself into a real god. You simply need to play the role. Being a human yourself, I'm sure you already know what such an entity would be like. Remember, your true challenge will not be pursuing divinity, but contending against humanity.
I'm still not sure I understand, but I'll try. So, how long am I going to have to play this role?
To accomplish this mission, you will have to stay on the stage for many, but I promise you, all will eventually end in a magnificent and dramatic trial,
Pero ese tiempo he
and
estado viendo a
everyone
Focalors
will be saved.
Salors y no lo sabías.
A trial, huh? How exciting.
Ok, ahora soy la actriz. Furina pelo corto es Dani jugando Genshin Impact. Furina pelo largo es Dani jugando otros juegos. No me jodería. Qué coraje me da que me hagan eso en ese juego. Me atrasa, me atrasa.
The
Jaja, que voz más
Maison
suave la Furina pelo
Cardinalise has
corto,
announced my
literal.
accession, but this is my first time facing the people. What should I say to most appear like a god? To be honest, I still... Ladies and gentlemen, good evening, and welcome to the Opera Epiclese. I'm sure you've all heard about how I have taken on the role of Hydro Archon. In truth, I know little about becoming a nation's new god, but it will be my honor to guide you all. as the god Fosalor, the god of justice,
Pulpita con
I
cámara.
shall do all within my power to lead you into an age of fairness and justice. Once again, thank you all for coming. If you should have any questions or suggestions, please send them to the Maison Cardinalise. The future of Fontaine will require us to work together. This should do it. I thought I might stammer, but thankfully...
That's the new Hydro Archon. Is this some kind of joke by the Maison? I would have thought that a being that surpasses humanity would...
Hey, did you hear that? She even told us to send her suggestions there at the end.
Claro, eso no es lo que le sirve a la gente. Tiene que
Shouldn't
ser...
gods be all-powerful? She's being so modest. What's...
If you ask me, perhaps the succession didn't actually happen.
Wait, what's going on? Why is everyone suspecting me of being a fake? Right. Miri said that I just need to play the role of a god as humans imagine. Calm down, Farina. Think. Assertive, with a strong sense of presence. One who can dispel all doubt. That... Oh, very good, my people. Only ones such as you are deserving of my rule. Now, I was wondering if some weak puppet were to one day come onto the stage and claim ownership. Well, it seems the Archon Fosalor stand within the Opera Epiclese, so long as I stand before the oratrice.
La obligaron a ser alguien que no era, tío. No hay nadie ahí.
Lady Farina, here are today's case reports, as well as a summary of the follow-up for your perusal.
Come now, was I not just at the Opera House in person? Besides, none of these trials were the one that I'm looking forward to the most.
If I may be so impertinent...
A magnificent, dramatic, and wondrous trial. A trial to end
El
all
suyo.
things.
That's true, I fear I lack the ability to grasp your divine thought, Lady Archon.
No need for fright, and do not take what I said before too seriously. Go now, do your duties.
Lady Farina, I don't know what to say. Thank you for agreeing to see me.
No need to thank me. Or rather, thank your own Oh, I'm afraid that's just an inevitable consequence of my divine charm. All right. Deoteria, is it? How is your son's illness?
You remembered me, and you knew of my... He is doing much better now. In fact, he is far more of an ardent believer than I. He was the one who forced me to seek an audience with you.
Oh, good. Very good. If this should happen again in the future, please do not hesitate to come and tell me. Going down to citizens' homes
Ahora
every
entiendes
so
por qué se le da
often,
también a
while
actuar.
not usual
No, pues
practice,
sí que
should serve
nadie lo
as a
supiera.
fine change
Estuvo
of pace.
durante 500 años fingiendo cerrar con Tiridro mientras cargaba con el peso de que la profecía era real.
Oh, you're such a gentle and wise God.
Lady Farina, here are the latest hydrological reports. As for the specific parameters you asked to take note of...
I see. It's as I thought, then. As your god, I did already expect this, but all manner of signs indicate that the prophecy will still come to pass.
Well, as I understand it, the Fontaine Research Institute is also trying to find a way to counter the rising water levels.
Really? Have they found anything?
I'm afraid that they haven't found any effective solution thus far.
Oh, is that so? Well, no wonder. This issue has reached the realm of the gods, after all. Still, their spirit is praiseworthy.
Acto número 100.
Lady Farina, it's like a dream being able to speak with you up close. Like, I've heard that the first member of our family who was honored to receive an audience with you was
20
Madame
generaciones,
Deotaria, almost
santísima.
20 generations ago.
And what a fine family yours is indeed.
Surely you exaggerate, Lady Farina. My lady?
What is it, good citizen?
Oh, are you crying?
Really now? I didn't even notice. This must be the overflow of hydro from my person. Well, can't quite help being the god who...
No wonder. No wonder. A manifestation of your power, then. Oh, Archon, I am honored to have witnessed it.
So interminable. Hundreds of years must have passed by now. Perhaps I never imagined that it would hurt so much. Have I reached my limit? No. Perhaps
Así,
I
lo que se
reached
escucha
it
en la
long
fuente.
ago. Today I didn't even notice my own tears. I want to tell someone, anyone, about this. But with that, I've conducted so many investigations across the centuries. But there's not even a sliver of hope that we might break the prophecy. All I can do is keep heart. I must maintain this act. It is the only way to save Fontaine. Please, mirror.
Furinai. ¿500 años fingiendo algo que no eres?
Farina, you don't have to shoulder this burden alone. Although I don't know what you might be keeping from everyone, your people are more than willing to share your burden with you.
Qué infarto me acabo de dar. Gracias. Quiero ver el final, así que me salga publicidad y se suscribe. Gracias, gracias. Qué susto, joder.
Share my burden.
Plot twist.
That's impossible. It was fated right from the start that this would be my duty alone.
But even if your burden doesn't need to be shared, you can still choose to confide in someone. Just share it with me. I'm what you'd call a witness.
Se suscribió bajo una super la meta. ¿En serio? Qué rayada.
to do, dear spectator, is to witness my performance until the curtains fall.
Eso no se lo dijo.
Fine.
No te lo iba a contar. No era su plan.
So even Farina doesn't know
Por
the
cierto,
truth.
un detalle.
You've never
Para
once
el
let her in on the full plan.
arque o suya es para personas que no fingen, Furina pero corto, y para Neuma los que ocultan parte de su personalidad, Furina pero largo. No sabía ese dato. Es lo que te iba a decir cuando Lini interrumpió. No se lo dijo, pero es lo que iba a decir si no hubiera aparecido en la ópera. Entonces no me iba a contar nada, ¿no?
Yes, it had to be done. To deceive the heavenly principles, you must first deceive. She did very well. If she had let her resolve falter even once in these 5 centuries, Fontaine would have been doomed to the most tragic fate. It seems that trusting humanity was the right decision after all.
I believe that I understand how your deception works, but that is only half the truth, is it not? How would you build on this foundation to save the people of Fontaine?
Ah, good, good. Of course, the Iudex of Fontaine has pinpointed the crux of the... I'm sure you've long sensed that the Oratrice is no simple machine.
I've always suspected that it had its own consciousness. And Lenny did mention that he heard a human voice within. It now seems that that person was you, hidden within the machine all along.
And then I became
Entonces,
one
¿ha sido ella la
with
que
the
ha condenado a muerte a
Oratrice,
Furina?
taking Fontaine's gnosis with me. Yes, it would seem so, wouldn't it? Alas, your understanding of
¿Será
this
gnosis?
device still lacks sufficient depth.
¿Lo tiene Fossalor o la analizadora?
In truth, it is no enactor of justice. It is, in fact,
La que
a
matará a la
device
diosa de
created
la
to kill
justicia.
the god of justice.
¿Es real?
Oh, you have it. And to be more precise, not only will the Oratrice take down the god of justice, it will also take down the divine throne. I mean, did you think I would be the sort to enjoy peaceful repose while Farina suffered? My work over these last 500 years has been to constantly accumulate indemnitium within the Oratrice. But really, some have already discovered that only a small fraction of the energy generated by the device was ever used to provide power to Fontaine. The vast majority had to be accumulated to
It was all a part of your plan then? Both the trial and the sentence?
Indeed. This power, accrued over 5 centuries, could have sustained Fontainians for millennia, but only power of this magnitude could hope to destroy the Hydro Archon's divine throne, shaking the rules established by Celestia and breaking through the institution that is the Seven.
So the Oratrice's call for death was for neither Farina nor Fossalor, but for the Hydro Archon.
Al propio cargo de Arconte Hidro en sí mismo.
The destruction of that divine throne. If I...
Returning what's rightfully yours to you, of course.
Esta se va a morir. Esta va a recibir todo su poder. O sea, no está sentenciando a Furina. Porque si Furina muriera, no se le devolvería el poder a este hombre, ya que es la parte humana. Mata a esta, este con poder. Madre mía, este hombre con poder.
In other words, this was all done to return the authority of the Hydro Archon to the Hydro
La autoridad
Dragon
del
of
Conte
this
Hidro al
planet.
dragón Hidro. Las teorías del principio eran las que son. Es que se veía.
But
Oh, what? Getting sad again, are we? The authority of the ancient dragons shall soon be yours once more, O Hydro Dragon Sovereign.
all you've done throughout the years is just so you can sacrifice yourself at the very end.
I've never quite seen it that way, you know. Even now, I'm quite pleased at how well my deception worked. Hydro Dragon, don't cry. I must say, had it been within my rights, I would have loved to judge the heavenly principles themselves. Were they not guilty of essentially the same crime? Egeria stole the power of the primordial sea, and the heavenly principles stole the power you ancient dragons possessed. I, for my part, am the god of justice. And is it not just that your original powers should be returned to you? Speaking of justice, I have always believed that justice lies in the process of pursuing human existence itself. So, if the theft of the primordial sea's might was Fontaine's original sin, then, leaving matters of procedural right and wrong aside, the descent of the Fontanians as humans and their right to exist in this world would be Fontaine's original justice. In other words, existence was Egeria's justice, and to me, justice is the continuation of that existence. Defying the prophecy and ensuring that Fontaine's people shall live on, that should be the justice enthroned over all others. At this point, we, whether it be myself, Iudex Neuvillette, the highest judge in our land, when you regain your full power as an elemental sovereign.
So when I was invited to the court of Fontaine to serve as Iudex, I see now that that was your idea too. At last, I now understand the true purpose behind this position. In the beginning, I was uninterested in human existence. But these 5 centuries of living alongside them have gradually brought about mutual understanding between us. And I have even attempted to feel as they feel. You are a devious one, Focalors. Things being as they are, surely you know that I could never declare them to be guilty.
The hour of my execution is almost here. For the sinner, the curtain call has come. I know I may not sound it, but
Agacha la
faced
cabeza,
with
bebé, se te
death,
caerá la corona.
I find myself a little afraid. Perhaps this is one thing both gods and humans have in common. Farewell, Neuvillette. I hope you've enjoyed the part you played these 500 years.
Judex Nouvellette, hereby declare, people of Fontaine, your sins are forgiven.
What just happened? Has the death sentence been
No he
carried
enterado
out?
de nada.
Was that bright light some sort of misdirection? I have a feeling that something huge just happened.
Dani, dile a los de hoyo que no tengan focal. Ya nadie más se disolverá. Fin. Dios.
But since we're all still alive and haven't been dissolved, I assume whatever happened was good for us.
It's time to end this. We must mete out punishment to that beast.
But didn't you say just a moment ago that it can't be defeated?
I have gained the strength sufficient to deal with it. Through certain means, I now have the ability to separate the power of the primordial sea from that. We should seize the opportunity to pursue our quarry. Traveler, now that the oratories can no longer function, I require an executor to help me mete out justice. The root of the calamities befalling Fontaine, the beast that enacts the prophecy.
Naval devora
Its name
estrellas.
is the all-devouring narwhal.
Ha
Come
muerto el
with me,
dragoncito, ha nacido el
The hour of
papeador.
execution has come.
Fontaine ya no tiene arconte. Pero no le iba a dar ese cargo a Nouvellette. Yo había entendido eso. 20, ¿dónde está? ¿Qué tiene que ver 20 ahora? Ahora sí se arme la gorda. A esto nos referíamos a que Fontaine es la mejor misión de arconte. A pelear, Dani, espero que tu trotais haya practicado la puntería. Sí, creo que eso es lo que más tiene que practicar este hombre. Es más que un arconte. Yo sabía, o sea, es que lo dije desde el principio. Bueno, todo el mundo lo creo que pensábamos que Nouvellette era el arconte y al final acabó siendo el arconte.
I've already done my best to separate the power of the primordial sea from the whale. Considering the size of the beast, I cannot reach the power source. Unless we can find a way to attack it from within. I shall share a part of the ancient dragon's power with you. We shall look for an opening together.
Es que la musiquel, esa, qué temazo tiene ese.
I can feel its sorrow turning into hostility.
Behold! Upon the gale. You're dead. Quit following me.
The all-devouring narwhal cannot resist its instinct to devour. Continue to trigger its hostility, and a chance will present itself.
Upon the gale.
Ahora os leo, ¿vale? ¡Oh, temazo viene ahora, tío! ¡Qué temazo!
What's that Hunger Game thingy over there? It looks really scary.
Let's light it up.
Nivel 92, yo no me paso eso nivel 92. ¡Ay, que Nouvellette me va a dar todo su poder! ¡Perfecto! Puedo morir. Trotamundo, puedes morir todo lo que quieras.
Do not fear. Seize the moment and use my power to suppress its root from within.
Time to shine.
Me ha dicho que utilice eso, ¿no?
Squall and Fury.
Vale. ¡Qué temazo, tío! ¡Me flipa! ¡Ay, de Willy, tío! Ya está. Menos mal que me dijiste el truco de que tenía que darle básicos con Furina, si no, no me hubiera dado ni cuenta. ¿Quién eres tú? ¡Qué reina, qué divina! ¡Qué reina, qué divina! ¿Quién es esa y por qué no es jugable?
Thanks for helping with the cleanup. It should have been my job.
Pregunto cuando termine, vaya a ser que se muera.
Oh well. It was just supposed to be a short private training session for
¿Qué
me.
le ha hecho a mi
I didn't think that my
Sugar?
disciple and my master's pet would start brawling in the meantime.
No pensé que mi aprendiz se pondría a pelear contra la mascota de mi maestro. What?
Well, actually, I had a feeling that it would happen at some point, but they bumped into one another earlier than I thought. What a blunder.
That power. Who are you exactly?
Paimon has an idea. From what she said earlier, she must be Child's master.
Excuse.
Skirk, right? It's just that he gave us the impression that she was the less talkative person.
¿No nos ha hablado sobre ella?
I simply did not have anything to say to the weak. But you, on the other hand, so you may speak to me as equals. I have to agree. It's a strange use of the planet's primordial waters just to raise an all-devouring narwhal. That kind of power is wasted on it. It's not cooperative. It eats too much. And I have more important things to do with my time.
Hora de olvidarnos de foca.
The only thing that creature has going for it is its looks. All in all, it fails as a pet.
Miss Skirk? I think you might have missed the point.
The point being?
Well, being that this pet almost destroyed an entire nation. So what sort of person is your master? Well, Child's master's master.
Oh, right.
El maestro de la maestra
so
de
you
novio.
don't know him. Sorry, I assumed you did. His name is Surtalogi.
¿Surtalogi?
Huh?
I am unfamiliar with that name.
What? Skip ya es después del arco de los arcontes. Probablemente. Flipas con su diseño. Es God, esta señora. O sea, qué divina. Tiene así un aire más al estilo Honkai que al estilo Genshin, ¿eh? Perdonadme que diga eso, pero me parece que tiene más el estilo de diseño al Honkai que al Genshin.
Huh. So Master is insufficiently famous. How should I describe him then? Have you heard of the name
The Fowl?
Still nothing? Well, how about the Visionary?
Profeta. ¿Qué de
Vetterfalnir then?
nombres?
Or Gold Rhine-Daughter?
Oro sí. Sí, Oro sí. La madre de Albedo.
Ooh, that one we've heard. My daughter's part of the Hexen Circle. She's open.
Oh, so you do know that name. To be honest, I also heard all of those names, but I suppose you understand now, yes? My master is likely a...
Wait! Didn't you also mention a visionary person? Paimon didn't quite...
Actually, never mind that. I believe that the all-devouring narwhal used up nearly all its strength fighting you. Such roiling hydro energies will prove difficult for the planet's deeps. As such, the Fontaine back on the surface has most likely been thrown into chaos. In other words, the prophecy that you've been fretting over should now be in full swing.
¿En serio?
What?
Not to worry. Focalor has already managed to deceive the...
Ah, vale.
In the end, the people will all be dissolved into the waters,
Ay.
and only Farina will remain, weeping on her throne.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no.
Only then will the sins of the people of Fontaine be washed away.
Técnicamente nos lo dijeron en toda la cara, ¿no? ¿Qué cojones? Claro, pero con lo que pasó con Nubiles no se disuelven. Navia God. El arca de Noé, como le dijisteis, ¿no? ¿Dónde está Río? ¡Ay!
All hands, initiate emergency rescue. Hurry!
Ahora son humanos completos, jefe.
Hey, lend a hand.
Son buenos nadadores, no los de Fontaine, se dijo al principio.
Look, the water's receding. It's a miracle.
Por fortuna.
Redeemed us all.
Debe ser el nombre de
The
ciudad.
prophecy was
Sí, lo
wrong.
dijo él.
The prophecy was wrong.
No lo cambió. Qué bonita. De verdad, qué cambio han dado las animaciones, Las de Fontaine son go.
Are you alright? We're saved. The prophecy was wrong.
Se nota el presupuesto para Fontaine, sí. ¿Qué tardan?
The soil renewed. The Sweet Rasula talks post-disaster rebuilding. I
Recuerda que aún queda la
visited
conversación.
Poisson to meet with Miss Navia, spokesperson of the Spirit Rasula, and we spoke about Poisson's present and future. Old soil can still give birth to new bloom, Miss Navia stated.
De un suelo viejo también
It's
pueden
like seeing
brotar
a small
flores.
cookie when you're starving late at night. You just skyship winglet, booner brain of the Fontaine Research Institute. The various disputes that have arisen on account of Mr. Edwin have suddenly become a issue. People always call the first researcher mad, but few know what to call the second. And should that latter... Wow!
Hoy terminan habla, ¿no? Es sensible, no.
Are those really Jurier and Navia? They sound like real big shots.
What do you think? Pretty enthralling, huh? The Steambird's idea was pretty simple. With the disaster just having passed, the value for these big scoops lies in their inevitable follow-ups. We'll publish further reports and go into the stories behind those. Edwin's assistant, Jurier, created a true flying ship, while Navia is leading people in the reconstruction of their home. I'm sure that these stories could draw even your well.
Pirate's curious too!
Hay gente esperando tiradas los celos.
Wait a minute. Didn't we watch everything happen from start to finish? What's the...
And that's exactly why I'd like you to come conduct interviews with me. You're the best incubators of news, if you haven't noticed. And also, with you around, I'm sure I'll get to
¿Tú qué
see
quieres?
that
¿Conocer a mi duque? No, perdona. Búscate otro. Duque es mío.
Are you sure? Hasn't he turned you
Oh, this time will be different. Come on, let's head to Poisson first, and
No
then
me
make a trip to the
entretengas, ya que tengo que
fortress.
preguntarle cosas
There are some things
a...
you'll only know when you get.
Como no hay alcohol, supuestamente. Ve a Poisson. ¿Dónde está Poisson?
Navia!
¿Es un fatue?
Oh, it's you.
Hey, we're just having
Oye,
a
como,
look around.
como que Arlequino ha estado muy poco, ¿no?
I'm here to update myself on how things are going here.
Yo pensaba que Arlequino le iba a liar
Oh, the
pardísima.
Fatui are here too.
Let me introduce you. This is Mr. Garunt Snezhevich. He represented the Knave in Our residents are hard at work as well. Thanks to everyone, work is progressing nicely.
Hello, Miss Charlotte. I'm a big fan of yours. I especially like that article you wrote last year about... But if you don't mind, could you not emphasize our role too much in your report? It's not charity we're doing here. We just happen to...
I get where you're coming from. I'll keep it as simple as possible. Or would you be willing to feature as friendly neighbors?
That would be fine. Thanks.
Oh, you're back too. How are things?
Florín de Jesucristo.
We finished laying down the construction materials. It'll be...
Huh? You're here too, Clarand?
Well, her reputation's greatly risen after that whole duel business with Miss Farina. So she's here in Poisson to wait out the heat.
There's too much to consider in the reconstruction of Poisson. The Spina has need of more decision-makers. And...
Oh, wait just a moment. Do you mind me asking a few questions? You know, about how you felt before the duel. About what it was like facing down...
Forget it. I'm sure you can find a better theme than that.
I see you're the same as always. Couldn't you do me a favor, for Navia's sake?
Lo de Arlequino liándola fue clickbait de los adelantos de versión.
Well, if we're talking about doing things for my sake, you might as well just take a few more photos of me. Or of the traveler.
Of course I will. I'm not gonna let her off that easy. All right, then everyone who wants to be in the photo, gather up.
Qué bonita foto.
How did it go? Was it a good shot? Did Paimon look cute in it?
Not bad. Your addition really helped the composition of the picture. All right, hang on a moment. Let me snap a few more.
Por favor. Por favor.
All right, that should do it. I'll be back here later anyway, so let's call it a day.
You're very quick.
Speed is of the essence when it comes to the news, and freshness is the key. Also, not to brag, but I'm pretty good at building connections. Who knows? I might eventually get that interview with you after all, Miss Clarand.
Wow, you really do have that never say die spirit.
I'll hazard a guess that this is how you got that interview at the fortress.
Whoa, you're well informed. Let me make a guess too. I asked Sijuin, who told Monsieur Nervillet to...
That's a very complete information chain.
In truth, all Monsieur Neuvillette asked me was, when did the fortress become so friendly towards the media? I told him that it was best not to speak too soon.
You're right. I've got to treasure every moment I have with them.
Si echarlo
In which
fuera,
case,
Alan la
I'll be making
regresa
a
a
move
Fontaine en
first.
bolsa de basura.
Stay safe now. And tell me if you hear anything interesting. I'll treat you to afternoon tea.
De verdad, tanto nos hacen entretenernos, ¿sí? ¿Oh? Yo ya quiero preguntar cosas.
Wow, guess we're here again, huh? There's a real nostalgic feeling to this place.
Looks like you've been missing us.
Sí, la verdad te echaba mucho de menos, Río.
Duke! Did you come all the way to the entrance to greet us?
Of course. I'm here to welcome you and our dear Miss Charlotte, whom are...
It's an honor to finally meet the much-rumored Duke. Thank you for consenting to my visit to the fortress.
No need to thank me. But that said, I shouldn't be the focus of your...
Of course, of course.
All right then, this way.
Hey, no need to be so nervous. Miss Charlotte.
It would seem that Miss Lorvine doesn't want her face to appear beside that of Mr. Jurier.
Que no salgan juntos.
Sir, please don't say things like that.
But it looks like dear Mr. Jurier denies it. Might this
No, I just... This is my first time...
Now, I might not look it, but I actually did meet Mr. Edwin once. And I'll be honest, the boat that brought about a miracle, the ark that saved the people. Still, if I might ask...
Huh. Looks like Charlotte's trying to get herself in...
I have to apologize, but that ship is presently in the...
Really? Well, then in that case, could I...
You already know my answer, I'm afraid. Best you interview our head nurse instead. Or perhaps...
Did you really have to use the word couple? Well, then, 2 solo photos will...
Is my hair messed up? Please, someone help me have a look.
Things sure are getting pretty lively here. Oh, seems like everyone's here. Would any of you like to try this new drink I came up with?
Ah, Sigeween.
Hey, Miss Charlotte. Why don't... Sure. Come on, Miss Sigeween. Over this
Estoy
way.
pasando así un
Let's
poquito
find a
rápido
brighter
porque
spot.
realmente he hecho un poquito de rellenaco para atrasar las preguntas.
So, how have things been at the front?
Same old, as you can see. Fontaine's undergone some changes, but...
Other than that flying ship...
That's why I decided to let the interview go through. We should direct more public opinions toward the behind-the-scenes...
You're too kind, sir. I believe that you too should have your day in the sun.
Atrasando súper.
Not that you would want that.
I'll just leave this...
Voy a detener el rapidillo, la verdad.
I see. Lots of things happened that day, huh? Anyway, regarding that Harbinger, I'm not sure...
He sure did win them over, huh?
I'll tell them that there's good news and bad news. The good being that their boss seems fine, and the bad being that they must face extended sentences for abetting his escape.
Oh, actually, what about...
What change can there be? The fortress will keep chugging along. As to what Miss Farina's departure will mean for the nation, and if our laws and governance will be transformed,
La partida de Furina.
we'll leave those to the folks in the overworld.
Hey, everyone. The photo shoot's done.
Good. In that case, let's call it a day here.
Thanks for your cooperation. Come on, Traveler, let's go.
There'll be a next time?
Maybe. Who knows? I might write a story about the underwater factory. All right. Last stop, the docks.
Por favor, Charlotte. ¿Qué muelle? No me dirá que... Ah. El acto final dice, sí es cierto. Curiosidad, si vas a donde estaba el barco antes ya no está. A saber qué ha hecho el duque con el barco. Hostia. Ay, no. Que el ascenso tarda mucho.
Nadia mentioned that she stayed in touch with Linny and the others.
Traveler, Paimon. Ah, and Miss Charlotte.
Would you like a magic pocket?
What sort of gadget is...
It's a wondrous bag that can be used to carry many things. The water level has returned to normal.
Trick a friend.
You could just make a friend like Fremine here. Isn't that right, Fremine?
Is this what you meant by...
To be honest, that sounds pretty sweet. Could I have your contact, please?
¡Ay, que van a ligar!
Sure. Please.
Qué mono que
write
siempre
down
hables
my
solo.
address.
Lynette sure is working hard to help Fremine socialize.
He was the one who proposed doing this. He even wants to assist in our magic shows.
Yes, I was planning to first introduce Pear as an assistant.
That said, would anyone want to see a diver escape underwater?
Oh, it'll work out. Every journey begins with...
Lynette, could you come over?
Got it.
My, that Charlotte is rather perceptive. She got rid of everyone. The father says that you did a great deal during the latest event.
That's all right. We were more than happy to help. So...
Oh, I guess you... After Lady Farina left, Father and Monsieur Nervillet opened negotiations, during which he gave Fontaine's gnosis to her as a diplomatic gift.
Hostia, tío, ya ni se pegan por la nocilla, se la regalan.
diplomatic gift? A gnosis?
Yes, I was quite surprised at first myself. But when I thought it could have been done as an apology for the incident with Lord Child, or as thanks for his help in tying the all-devouring narwhal down.
Pero los arcontes no son conscientes de lo que quieren hacer con la gnosis, se la sudan, tío.
Furthermore, Father did also lend significant aid to Fontaine and Poisson.
Bueno, solo queda la de Nala.
That's true, but this is a gnosis we're talking about.
I would agree, but I've also heard that
Creo que al único que se la quitaron agresivamente fue al Vientos, literalmente. Le dio 3 chortas y se la quitó.
So there's some reason for this that only Nervalet knows.
I suspect you'll have to ask him about that yourself. Ah, yes, speaking of which...
Isn't he real busy? But back to the topic. The gnosis was given to the...
They say that he's returned to Snezhnaya to recover
O sea, ya no
from his
vemos a
wounds.
Novila Snezhnaya, ¿no?
I hear that the recent disaster really
Pero
did a
nosotros
number on
seguimos
his
con
health.
la visión de este hombre, ¿verdad?
That's true. When you think about it, we've had loads of run-ins with the Fatui. To think we'd be allied with...
Pero lo que nunca imaginó es que algún día estaríamos en el mismo bando.
So shocked by such a simple switching of sides?
Arlequino.
Father!
Well, well, what do you know? Come to the docks to see how my children are doing and meet the traveler by chance.
Are you going to take the gnosis back to...
That is our duty as harbingers. Don't be too preoccupied with sides. The goal of the Fatui concerns not a single place or person, but the entire world. Switching my masks is something I've Well, that depends on many things. No one truly knows what the future holds. What good is honesty if you can't... As for you, I very much look forward to our next collaboration. Good things cannot be achieved alone, and you've proved yourselves to be great partners. A vision? All right. I'll...
And that's a wrap for me. Huh?
Greetings, Miss Journalist.
Hello. If I'm not mistaken, there are diplomatic...
That is correct. So forgive me, but I will not be able to serve as a subject in your article. However, feel free to write as much as you'd like about our
I will...
The sea breeze is quite pleasant. Oh, I shall...
Farewell, Father.
La próxima.
Oh, she has such an intimidating presence. I didn't even dare to take a picture. Thankfully, I've already wrapped up all my pre-scheduled dinner.
Don't be too nervous. Why don't you take a magic pocket before you go? Here, traveler, Paimon, you take what...
To move things about?
That's right. Funny. I was giving out magic pockets when we first met too. And what do you know? I'm doing the exact same thing right now.
Pues la autoridad Hydro ha sido devuelta a Neuvillette.
But the pockets are still the pockets.
Eso no se ha mencionado.
I guess this must be life. We will... All right then. We'll be handing out pockets in some other districts later, so we'll get going now. Have a...
Well, guess we sent Charlotte off.
Vale, es con Neuvillette con el que vamos a hablar. O sea, el que vamos a hacer las preguntas es a Neuvi. No podemos entrar directamente. Ah, no, vale, ya sé dónde está. Madre mía. Tengo un sueño. Son las 12:15 de la noche. Necesito vacaciones después de esto, Un directo de 5 horas y cuarto que se va a alargar seguramente a 6.
The entrance to the fortress. Ooh, he really is there. So you really are here, Neuvillette. I didn't think you were going to have free time this...
Really? Oh, I suppose you must have met Mr. Linney. He took the time to greet me earlier when he passed the... In any case, you came at a good time. I was just considering reaching out to you to set up a meeting, so I may explain some things that I haven't had the time to before.
Aw, Paimon's glad that you remembered. All right, let's have it then. How was Fontaine actually safe?
It is strange how words can often leave a bitter taste in the mouth when it finally comes time to say them.
Muy bien, Dani, sabes si fuiste por el camino, ¿ves? ¿Cómo se podía?
So that's what happened? Focalor destroyed the divine throne of the Hydro Archon and restored your power to you. But Paimon still doesn't quite get what you did to save the Fontanians from dissolving.
For me, the authority of the ancient dragons refers to absolute control of... Fontanians were incomplete humans born of Egeria's use of the power of the primordial sea, with constitutions, but so long as those primordial energies remain within them, I could use the ancient dragon's authority to... In other words, when I gave my verdict, Fontanians became true humans, and thus would naturally no longer be...
Focalor must have counted on you to make that decision as well. Your verdict was the key to making the prophecy appear. Yeah, and in a manner of speaking, Focalor finally managed to fulfill the original Hydro Archon.
Qué lisa, tío.
It seems from your expressions that you still have more things you wish to ask.
Sí.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Vale, ¿qué pasa con el veredicto de Novillo?
I have investigated his case along many avenues, and I have learned that he once fell into an unknown chasm when he was young. There, by chance, he awakened. But whether it be by sentiment or reason, that should not have been enough to consider him the root cause of the disaster. At most, he would have had tangential liability. As for the judgment passed by the oratrice during the trial, whether it was due to that liability by association or Focalor deliberately using him to buy time for us on the assumption that he would be able to hold the creature off, I cannot say.
Guess Focalor had Fontanians in mind the whole time. In the end, it was thanks to her that they finally became real human. Hang on a second. Paimon, back when Fontanians hadn't yet become real humans, were the children they had also transformed Oceanids?
Life has always flowed like water. Do you recall how Fontanians would often come to the Fountain of Lucine?
Yeah, Lynette said the fountain is where all the waters in Fontaine converge.
El más poderoso y el más sabroso.
In truth, even those couples did not know that such prayers were no mere custom, but instead a form of ritual. Those Oceanids who were blessed within the spring water would later descend as new humans in the coming months.
Paimon sorta gets it now.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Vale, ¿qué será el futuro de Fontaine?
Yeah, about that. Risley said Farina...
Ah, Lady Farina. The people are only aware that her death sentence has not been carried out. She abdicated the post of Hydro Archon and left affairs related to that title. I related Focalor's words to her faithfully and completely. After hearing them, she seemed neither saddened nor comforted. She simply said that she was tired.
¿Y dónde se fue de vacaciones?
Having said that, she then packed her things and moved out of the opera house. Not unlike how an ordinary person might.
But she's still got a place...
You need not worry. I will make arrangements to ensure that she will not want for food, clothes. In truth, I am somewhat happy for her. The wear and tear on her, but now that she no longer has to play the role of Focalor the Hydro Archon, she can finally lay...
What about you then? What are your plans now that you've regained your full powers as the Hydro Dragon?
After Focalor passed on, the Oratrice also ceased to function. This matter will directly affect our trials.
Esa es la teoría.
After much careful consideration, I've decided to take over its role in our courts. From now on, I shall hear cases...
Looks like you're still considering stuff from the perspective of the Udex, huh?
As an elemental dragon, there are indeed many things that I must do. But this power and this duty, in a manner of speaking, you could say that both were granted to me. As such, before I attend to my other responsibilities, I must first and foremost continue to serve Fontaine. Additionally, the Hydro Archon's departure has brought about another problem, which is that the Opera House...
That's true. That power was derived from the people's faith in the Hydro Arch. Wait, but the various Maxim machines in the city are all still okay?
As I am now, I have full command over New Musia, and it can serve as a complete substitute. Another reason why I cannot quite leave Fontaine immediately.
This ancient dragon's authority stuff is really quite useful, huh?
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
Vale. ¿Qué pasa con la nación de Fontaine?
Oh, that's right! They say you've given it to the Navy!
Leaving aside their intentionality, The two Fatui Harbingers have indeed done much for us during this crisis. Their sole remaining goal in Fontaine, at least at this point, would seem to be the Oratrice has ceased to function. The Hydro Archon's divine throne is now no more. As such, it has lost all meaning for Fontaine. If the Fatui have impure designs, then we might as well accede to their request now.
What complicated considerations? Paimon thought you were just giving it to them out of gratitude.
Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it. You will soon be heading to Natlan, I presume?
Natlan.
I'm afraid that I have little talent as a travel guide, so all I can do is tell you, as far as I'm aware, Natlan can be said to be a nation of dragons.
A nation of dragons? You mean like you?
No, I suspect that I would not find myself welcome there. Unlike ancient dragons such as myself, the dragons of Natlan have undergone long years of development and evolution. Natlan is also the nation of war. War ravages those lands like an undying flame. There is one other piece of information I got incidentally from my negotiations with the Knave that I believe may be useful to you. The Harbinger known as the Captain has thrown his hat into the endless ring of war.
Aquí ya lo sabíais, ¿no?
The Captain. Sounds like a real tough customer.
I suggest that you fully prepare yourself before going to Natlan. In the meantime, Fontaine's doors will always be open to you. Ask away. I will tell you the truth as I know it.
¿Listo?
Hang on a sec. Paimon still got a question about the nose. When we spoke to Linny earlier, he mentioned that your attitude towards giving we guessed that there might be some reason for it that only you were aware.
No wonder the House of the Hearth is the Fatui's intelligence division. So regarding this specific issue, I was just getting ready to share something with you.
A Nahida tampoco le preguntó y Nahida le dijo, ¿no tienes una pregunta, seguro? Y se lo dejó. Reacciona al livestream de la 5.0. Yo ya reaccioné al livestream de la 5.0 en directo.
What is it?
In truth, I exchanged some further words with that lady named Skirk after sending you two back to the surface. It went something like this.
Well, we're going to head topside to see what's
La
going
semana
on.
que viene es el livestream de la 5.2. Sí, sí, lo sé, lo sé, lo sé.
What next?
The all-devouring narwhal isn't here. I can finally catch the scent of your power. It is the authority of the planet's primordial dragons. But with something very similar to a god's... I'm sure I've encountered something like this before.
I do not know what you speak of.
Of course. You should have the remains of the third descender on your
Tercer
person.
descendido.
Yes.
¿Qué perros sois, tío? Me dijisteis que si no pensaba, cuando estuvimos haciendo teorías de Nobilet, me dijisteis que si no pensaba que era un descendido y dije que no. Y mira.
Remains? I've never heard of any such thing.
According to your parlance, I believe it may be called...
Well, that much is true. After Focalor's divinity faded, she handed her gnosis to me. But I fear I have never heard of it described in the manner that you just did.
I've been training with my master, the Fowl, ever since I was young, and I have never returned to the surface since. It is only natural for those who are greater than humanity to possess a different sort of calm. Regardless, you should probably get rid of objects of misfortune. To prevent any disaster, to live in itself is a blessing. But once a person dies, the bonds he once had with this world shall all turn to curses.
No, sí. Vale. Es que ha dicho tienen los restos del tercer descendido, ¿sabes?
What do you mean by that?
No need to fret. These are just my personal thoughts. And my reason for no longer wishing to return to the surface.
Son restos del tercer descendido. La Zarina quiere todas las gnosis porque son todas las partes de ese tercer descendido y por algo quiere ¿Formarle?
This third descender you refer to, who are...
Master never mentioned them to me. If you're interested, though, I could ask him. I'll be sure to pass the answer on to you next time.
Next time? You believe we will meet again?
I do. Wait. I have a
That's what she told me. Whether it would prove useful or not, I wanted to pass that information on to you.
The remains of the third so that's what the no-sees actually are. Paimon just thought they looked like chess pieces. How could they be a person's remains?
All the same, assuming that there was no misunderstanding or...
And she said that it would bring misfortune and that you should check it, which is why you gave it...
If she speaks the truth, then I would simply be putting fun... I guessed that you might already be familiar with this concept, but I did not expect you to be one of them. That means that the no-sees, which are exceedingly element-compatible and can even enhance elemental abilities, do indeed I wonder.
Like being able to use element... No, let's not think about this stuff right. Comparing the Traveler to the dead third descender and all. That's what you say, but this topic still feels like... Once child recovers, let's get some more answers.
I too believe it unwise to make too many blind guesses when information is lacking.
Alright. Whatever the case, it seems like the...
Yes. All of Focalor's efforts were for this moment as well.
But she sacrificed herself in the end as a god, and she suffered through all those years as a human.
I suppose that would be the mystery of a god. I suspect not. But once in a while, I too would guess that if wishes were like the cloud, life flows like water, and rain is the final answer. The water levels may sometimes tilt one way or another, but the rain falls fairly upon all. And what, ultimately, is the difference between the rains that fall upon all of us?
Hidroculo arriba del todo, sí. Aplausos, gente, aplausos, porque es maravilla pura. ¡Qué maravilla, tío! Me encanta, me ha encantado, me ha encantado. Y nada, acabamos de terminar el acto 5 de Fontaine, solo tengo que decir que es maravilla, que me ha encantado. Y qué bueno que ahora se viene misión de Dainsleif, que me habéis dicho que se viene muy tocha. Y nada, muchísimas gracias por llegar hasta aquí, por ver el vídeo, y no te olvides de darle like y suscribirte para más. Y luego, Nadlan, nos vemos en el siguiente vídeo. ¡Gracias!